Guys, I think early in January, we're getting a lot of FUD as it related to sort of like the COVID surge in China. I had a suspicion that it would probably play out the same way that it played out in North America, at least, where it surged in January of 2022, I think it was, once everything really opened up, everybody got it. It was the Omicron strain. And then, of course, it dissipated very quickly. And, the news media was essentially saying that, oh, you're going to have these millions of deaths, etc. It's going to be absolutely horrible. The investment community didn't buy it. And now we're starting to see reports come out that, the investment community was right. It was all FUD by the news media. Things are starting to calm down. And so that's what I'm going to dive into in this video. So guys, as you smash that like button, let me run that intro. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And without any further ado, let's go right into this article because I think it's very important. It came out on the South China Morning Post today. So you can see that China is saying, I mean, some of you may not necessarily believe China, but at least China is saying that the COVID death tolls in hospitals is on a downward trend. And so the National Center for Disease Control and Prevention said that deaths in hospitals have peaked on January 4th and stood less than 1,000 on Monday. And so, the point that I want to make here is that this is exactly when the media was really hyping up the fact that it could be very bad in China, and they were using the fact that they don't have the mRNA vaccines distributed as widely as we had in North America, so there could be an issue. I even bought into that a little bit. I said, this could be a risk. However, overall I saw that the reopening was probably going to be a good thing, especially considering that it looked to be like it was like the Omicron, the less severe variant that was making waves in China, and that looks to be what has actually happened. And so the number of patients being treated in fever clinics is also reported to be on a downward trend. So really it's telling you that things are getting better, which is what we were hoping for and also what we expected. And so, they go on to say that the death toll has been decreasing after peaking on January 4th of nearly 4,300 people in that one day. And then, of course, the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Wednesday said that it only recorded 896 deaths on January 23rd, which was the second day of their Lunar New Year. And so, the point that I want to point out really is in this picture, notice what the caption is: no longer afraid. People in the Chinese city of Wuhan begin to leave COVID pandemic behind. So, it really tells you that people are over this. And that was one of my concerns. I didn't know how hunkered down people were going to be. A lot of people were, even on these videos on this channel, were saying that the people in China were hunkering down. They were staying at home. They weren't going to go outside. The economy wasn't going to recover as quickly as we expected it to recover. But it looks like, things are progressing faster than the doomsayers. Now, I'm not saying that things are going to go back to pre-COVID levels or anything along those lines, because we are dealing with a global potential economic recession. And so we'll see how that impacts China. But at least, COVID, it looks like at least that's behind us. Now we got to deal with the other challenges ahead of us. And I do want to point out that 76% of the people in Beijing had contacted COVID-19 as of December 22nd, and it's expected to reach 92% by the end of this month. So that's really good. You want it to sort of make its way through the population, and really what it does is it shows you that it's less severe. Hopefully it stays like this, doesn't mutate into anything crazy. And so, the number of visits to fever clinics reached a peak of nearly 2.9 million on December 23rd. With more than 1.6 million admitted to hospitals at that time. And then let's take a look at where it is at recently. You can see the numbers continue to fall, with just 63,000 visits to clinics and 248,000 hospitalizations on January 23rd. And so that's much lower than that 1.6 million number that I previously stated. And so they're also stating that the Omicron subvariants are the dominant strain. So that's good, because those are the less severe ones. So this is all working out in our favor. You want people down there to be safe. You want them to resume their lives, and it looks like they're on the path to getting there. And of course, why am I covering that? Well, because, Alibaba's shares have surged considerably since November, once we started to get an idea that the country was going to reopen. A lot of the investment community, at this point, this is all your value investors who are supporting the stock at that $70 range. And what we expected is that one of the reasons why the stock would surge is because they would open on the COVID reopenings. Now, there's a lot of people, especially people who've watched this channel, and you guys let me know in the comments below who you are, because it's time to pat yourselves on the back a little bit. But there's a lot of you guys who bought the stock under $70 per share or under $80 per share, and you guys are capturing this huge surge. Even my double down is wildly profitable at this point. And so, I think if we have a strong quarter and an indication of a soft landing, I wrote SILT for some reason, in the West, we will see Alibaba at $150 per share very quickly. And so, you know, there is still room for this thing to surge. I don't see why Alibaba wouldn't be trading at that level. This is a world-class company operating in a country that has over 1 billion people. And despite the fact that we're starting to see a lot of articles come out now that are saying that, you know, China's population is disappearing, blah, blah, blah. That's all FUD too. I'm going to show you guys charts later on now, how even at the end of 2100, like by the year 2100, they're still going to have over 1 billion people. So this is more FUD that seems to always come out on China. And I think the reason why is because it gets clicks and, you know, they can sell advertisements. But hey, you know what? We're going to sift through it. Look, I'm pretty fair on this channel. Alibaba or Chinese investments are not my largest investments. I've been very clear about that, but I do like the idea of investing in the country, and I will continue to do so until I get a very strong argument as to why, and thus far nobody's really made that for me. Now, if you want to get access to the Alibaba model and take an understanding or get an understanding of exactly where I'm valuing it now in this environment, you can grab access to that model at that lower tier. And of course, if you want to join us for an epic live presentation, you can join us at this higher tier. I think this is the best value on YouTube. Now, Alibaba will be reporting their earnings soon, and what I really would recommend that you guys do is actually take a look at my full breakdown of Alibaba's last quarterly results, which I'll actually link right here. This will be a very good primer for you guys as we get into those earnings.